All right, so good to have you here. Our feature is Karen Pierce Gonzalez, a wonderful poet from the depths of the eternal self that goes way back to the first self that ever existed until this self that exists before us right now. She is a caring and carefully considerate poet, and I'm very glad to introduce all of you to her. She'll be reading some poems from from Whiskey Tree Untamed, correct? It's a series of 3 chapbooks of 14 poems by the same 14 poets. This international invitation-only collection was published by the Broken Spine Arts, United Kingdom, and has just released the first edition. Untamed Nature, the remaining issues, Untamed Love and Untamed Identity, will be released summer and fall, respectively. She will supplement those 3 poems with other similarly toned pieces to round out her reading. And I can't wait. Karen Pierce Gonzalez, welcome to you. I am muting me. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Dan, and everyone. I must say this is a spectacular collection of poets and poetry tonight. Your hard acts to follow. I will do my best. Thank you. I will begin with some selections from the Whiskey Tree. I am now officially a Whiskey Tree poet. Who knew? I didn't know that existed. Broken Spine Arts created this collective of 14 poets, and we are putting out a total of 3 what's called slimline chapbooks this year. This is the first one, Untamed Nature. I know it's probably reverse on your screen, but just pretend that it's not. And the goal of this particular collection, this series, is to explore the rawness and the wildness of nature. And so that's what we have done. I am going to read you a poem from each of the 3 editions I am in, and then I'm also going to read you 2 poems by 2 other poets in this edition, because we are supporting one another as poets and sharing the beauty of the work we all do together. And then I will read you some excerpts from Mountains of Ocean, a work in progress. And I must say quickly, some of you have heard earlier versions of these poems, and this is the beauty of an open mic, because I got to read some of these poems out loud to an audience to better hear them and then go back and rework them before they were published. So never underestimate reading undone work in an open mic setting, okay? The first poem, Olmec Crocodile Sapoctli. This is a 3-part poem. All of the 3 poems in the Whiskey Tree Untamed Nature series are 3-part poems on my part. 1. Tricked out of the primordial sea with promises of divinity by 4 gods of direction, I was birthed from water into beast, scraped against craggy rock beds, cracking open the blisters of having been forced to fall apart for your forests, peaks and valley floors flat enough to build god temples on. Mouth open, my reins anoint the tops of your bobbled heads, dilute appetites wet for more ferocious shorelines of day, until only shadowlands exist on a battlefield of reptilian desires, spawned in brain stems that don't blink at the sight of spilt blood. 2. Midair, I dream swim an ancient ocean behind a steel blue rack of sky. Torn leg joints leak brine, unable to wash wounds clean. I am fettered against my will with you in a twisted jute net sewn onto my leathery hide, tasked to raise your heaven up by the roots with my curved teeth, still longing to bite into plankton mud. I tire, turn my thick skeletal back on the deities you pray to. 3. I seal my eyes and lips to stop the flood of tears from becoming a slide. I do not want to drown the yellow marigolds sprouting from the ribs of my webbed feet. Without asking, you pluck them for altars the first day of each lunar lit multi-year cycle. Such stealing singes. Your fingertips grasp for petals of hope that endlessly I will help you out of the muck you keep making by wanting more than you can have. A broken core I cannot fix. The second poem, thank you, is from the second edition, Untamed Love. Again, this is an Olmec deity. Olmec feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl. 1. You coil up the roots of my too deep sleep when lonely. I am most willing to roll under your blue belly, a mirrored shield that protects the red gold plumage collar of your throat. Heated by the rub of our bodies, you shed skin on my pillow. Wet silk threads meant to keep my head above waters, ageless and cold. You spiral my spine, head to toe, you know exactly what you are doing. I gurgle, slip into an underwater bed, seagrass patterns crisscross, tectonic plates push me to float on my back. 2. Your snake tongue licks mine, satiny exhales of your breath, a fitted sheet over continental shelves. Double-fanged, you turn on me, puncture primal fears of my dying unloved. Veined liquid drains into your mouth, and you swallow my mineral-rich humanity, spitting out prayers for the dead. Still living, you hiss. 3. Arms raised, I hold on to the spread of your ancient neck. The arc of my night changes. I slither up your sacred crown scales and soar, reborn to let go as you change course, return to pluck field rats nesting in my fallen hair. Whore-boned jaws open wide, you eat them whole, regretting only that you cannot gorge more. And the last in this series I will read is from Untamed Identity, another 3-part poem. In the Ark. 1. There are 2 of me, one domestic, the other untamable by Noah of the one God, or any deity who threatens to drown her spirit with wrath. My docile self, scared to stand out, and in steerage where ankle-deep watery waste water won't drain, won't suit her tethered to me only by thin strands of twisted DNA, now split down the middle by the lightning command, all aboard, which severed the budding of our one body, one soul. 2. The link between is fragile. My twin scoffs at ship rules, refuses to follow those that will yoke her. Hush, I scold, to keep her safe from what may befall the stubborn among us. But she will not abide tabernacle tradition and climbs out of the corral, doesn't want to be saved by biblical tales that outlive their own truths. Seasick, I cannot respond. 3. She marches to the open deck, leaves me behind, her brown hair whipped by merciless winds. She tears our common cord, leans over the bow's wooden ledge and hums. The lullaby's familiar, soft good night tugs at me. I hear the splash of her jump into waves that will carry her away towards a free, unmapped shore. And I weep, her melody still ringing in my ears. Now I would like to read, thank you, 2 pieces from the first edition of The Whiskey Tree, 2 other whiskey poets, just to share our good fortune to be together with them and bring them to you tonight. They are both in the UK and time does not allow them to join us. The first is by Alan Perry. Mother of seas for cowards and the corrupt, for heretics and hedonists, for liars and thieves, for men who throw their mothers into the blue, standing in the dying sun miles from shore, on the squint of the horizon, where waters creep through the floorboards and the ceiling is stars. Between the waves, among the waves of Zosky's deep sea dreams, denial becomes frothing saltwater rum. And as men of streets drink, titanic waves grow and crash through windows. Anemones crawl along bars between barnacles seeking shelter. Outside, under glossy, pregnant moon, coral women with fishtails strike depraved poses. Women are rocks. Women are dead mothers. Women are ocean. And the final, Untamed, you can tell I enjoy these poems. It's by Jay Rafferty. He's an Irishman and he's sleeping right now as we speak. Although he lived in Colorado for a while, so he's the only one stateside that has any connection to the stateside. I'm the only one from America in this collection. Doghouse. The red soil, the 2 yellow-green scrub, Martian to the eye at first. By the roadside, a lock of dry, dead planks, and a smattering of roof tiles, gray or brown. And in the middle of it all, a golden pear, a dog like a sack of onions. Colorado stray, her snout stem curling towards the remnants of a fireplace's grate, the chimney now a piazza more than a spout. Cicada cries, cricket tunes, grasshoppers as big as your forefinger, never mind the cars tearing past. It would be hard enough to sleep through the invertebrate racket. In a glimpse of the rubble, though, the memory that blurred past was a better yellow tail sweeping the planks. the cur's tail curtailing her screeching alarm clocks, one gray-green forefinger at a time. Now, Mountains of Ocean, which is a work in process, and this is a sampling that my hope is it holds, I believe it holds together as a cohesive set taken out of the larger collection. Long ago, separated from one another, we did not know what lived beyond our own seaboards. Curious about the unfamiliar shales, bird bones, and driftwoods that washed up from somewhere else, we set out to find where other than here was. Some for profit, others adventure or freedom. The merchant does not mention cramped berths in the boat's belly, rats everywhere, or else we might not book passage. Unable to sell hopes, he would spend his days regretting the chance he'd not taken to become a wharf partner who enjoys return cargo, cacao, tobacco, and rum. So he promises those sailing away the gallery crew no songs to cure seasickness. My wife and I are given one berth perfectly sized for a child to share. A slender thing, she lies in the net, I just inches beneath to stop the fall should she slip out. After a fortnight, her body lays portside among others. I cannot bring myself to sleep where she once did. On my back, spine against the holes, the wooden floor, I dream of her only once. Damp brown eyes gaze into my fate, a new life with another. I won't cling so tightly to this one. A stowaway, I come out only at night when the moon turns her back, when slumber replaces the need of others to ask for my family name, my village, my craft. I have none. Hiding among barrels of grain and bales of straw for goats, I cast no shadows. I forget the feel of sunlight on my skin, how my mother might have cried when she woke to find me gone. A woman my age knows to look forward, not back at what's now gone. Spinster, the word sticks to my tongue, but I won't swallow it. A man may become husband, but can he also birth me homes? I cross this mountainous ocean, seek the company of those who sing sonnets and sketch stars just because. And the last in this series. On dry land again, most of us empty-handed, empty-hearted, hungry to make sense of the dreams we dreamt, stuff ourselves with land holes and berries, push aside the stargazers whose weather and seaweed legends speak of strangers who share the same sky, but follow the stars elsewhere. In scoffs, we toss salt over our left shoulders to ward off bad luck, and wetted with despair, cling to one another, tame or maim whatever crosses our paths, not knowing the ghosts of such choices will forever haunt our sleep. I want to share with you a video poem And that's all I'm gonna say.
With the music.
Yay.
I
Very
know,
nice.
I mean, I can't sit
Oh,
still.
great.
Awesome.
That's so good.
It's just a nice way to get closure, right? I'm gonna put in the chat the links to the whiskey tree, to my information and information about my feature next week with Mademoiselle Antoinette as host, okay? And thank you all for being just being here. Just thanks.
You're
All
so
right.
welcome, and it was wonderful. I'm just gonna say, wow.
Oh, thank you,
You know?
Dan. Hurry up before my hair gets like it's starting to fall apart, you know?
We're in ekphrostasy.
Yeah. Oh, really, David?
Yes.
Ah.